Okay.
There are moments when even the strongest voices begin to tremble. Moments when the person who once carried everyone else suddenly needs someone to carry them. And right now, that's exactly where NeNe Leakes finds herself. The woman who built a legacy on confidence, humor, and fearless honesty has broken down in tears at 56, and fans everywhere are feeling it deeply. This isn't the NeNe people are used to seeing, not the one delivering sharp comebacks, not the one owning every room she walks into. This is something different, something raw, something real. For years, she's been the one people leaned on for laughter, for strength, for that unapologetic energy that made her unforgettable. But now, the walls she built so carefully are starting to crack, and what's coming through is pain that can't be ignored. Fans aren't just watching this unfold, they're feeling it, because when someone who always seems unbreakable finally breaks, it hits differently. It makes you stop. It makes you wonder what's really been going on behind the scenes all this time. And the truth is, this moment didn't come out of nowhere. To understand why this is happening now, you have to go back to the beginning. Before the fame, before the headlines, before the world knew her name, NeNe Leakes was just a woman trying to survive. Her journey wasn't built on luxury or privilege, it was built on resilience. Raised in challenging circumstances, she learned early on that life doesn't hand out easy victories. You fight for them, you earn them, and sometimes you lose a few battles along the way.
I feel like what they need to do is have a big shakeup. At least 2 peach holders need to exit this season.
When The Real Housewives of Atlanta first premiered in 2008, NeNe didn't just join the cast, she became the heartbeat of the entire show. There was something about her that instantly connected with people. Maybe it was her honesty, maybe it was her humor, or maybe it was the way she refused to pretend to be anything she wasn't. She didn't try to fit into anyone else's idea of perfection. She showed up exactly as she was, loud, funny, bold, and completely unfiltered, and people loved her for it. But what viewers didn't always see was the weight she carried behind that big personality. At the center of her world was Greg Leakes, her husband, her partner, her safe place. Their relationship wasn't perfect, far from it. They went through ups and downs, breakups and makeups, public disagreements and private struggles. But at the end of the day, Greg was her person, the one who understood her beyond the cameras, the one who saw the real NeNe when the world only saw the performance. And that kind of connection doesn't come around often. But here's the twist. Life has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. When Greg was diagnosed with cancer, everything changed. Suddenly, the woman who always seemed in control was facing something she couldn't fix with strength or humor. For years, she stood by his side, fighting alongside him, holding on to hope even when things looked uncertain.
I'm tired.
I know.
I'm tired of like trying to put on a face for everybody and nobody is trying to take care of me.
Fans watched her transform during that time. The jokes became quieter, the energy shifted. There was still strength there, but it was different. It was heavier, more emotional. And then came the moment no one was ready for. Greg passed away. You could see it in her eyes, even when she tried to smile. You could hear it in her voice, even when she tried to stay strong. Losing someone who grounded you, who balanced you, who made the chaos of life feel manageable, that kind of loss doesn't go away. It stays with you. It follows you into every quiet moment. But NeNe did what she's always done. She kept going. She showed up, she worked, she tried to rebuild. From the outside, it looked like she was holding it together. But what nobody expected was just how much she was holding in. Because grief doesn't disappear just because time passes. It changes. It settles into your life in ways you don't always notice, until one day it all comes rushing back. And that brings us to now. Recently, fans witnessed something they had never seen before. NeNe, the woman who built her reputation on strength, broke down in tears. Not for attention, not for drama, but because the pain she's been carrying finally reached a point where it couldn't stay hidden anymore.
I wanted to not forget to ask questions. So it wasn't about reads. It was about, I didn't want to forget to ask certain questions. Because a lot of times when I'm with these girls and I leave and I be like, dang, I forgot to say that. Oh, I wish I had said this. Or I wish I'd have asked that question. So I wanted to make sure I was prepared, here are the questions that I needed to ask. And so nobody can ever talk about my reads. I've always sat on the couch and read everybody from the top of my wig.
It happened during a moment that felt deeply personal. Her voice cracked, her composure slipped, and for a brief second, the world saw her not as a reality TV icon, but as a woman who's hurting. And it hit hard, because this wasn't just about one moment. It was about everything that led up to it. The loss, the pressure, the expectations. For years, people expected NeNe to be on all the time, to be funny, to be strong, to be unshakable. But nobody stops to ask what it costs a person to carry that image for so long. Imagine always being the strong one, always being the one who makes everyone else laugh, even when you don't feel like smiling. Always being the one people expect to bounce back, no matter what life throws at you. At some point, that kind of pressure catches up with you. And when it does, it doesn't come quietly. It comes in waves, in tears, in moments where you can't pretend anymore. That's what fans saw. But here's where things get even deeper. This breakdown wasn't just about grief, it was about everything she's been through in recent years. The ups and downs of her career, the public scrutiny, the feeling of being misunderstood, the distance from the platform that once made her a household name.
At one point, NeNe was everywhere. She was the face of success in reality TV, the woman who turned her personality into an empire. But over time, things changed. Opportunities shifted. Relationships in the industry became complicated. And just like that, the spotlight that once felt empowering started to feel different, lonelier. Because fame can be loud, but it can also be isolating. You're surrounded by people, but not all of them truly know you. You're constantly seen, but not always understood. And when you add personal loss on top of that, it becomes overwhelming. There's a moment in life when everything you've been holding together starts to slip. And it doesn't matter how strong you are, you feel it. That's where NeNe is right now. Fans have been reacting in a way that's almost overwhelming. Social media flooded with messages of love, support, and emotion. People aren't just watching her story, they're connecting to it, because her pain feels real. One fan wrote, "We laughed with her for years. Now it's time we stand with her." Another said, "Seeing her cry broke my heart. She's always been so strong." And that's the thing about vulnerability. It reminds people that even the strongest individuals are human. NeNe spent years being the woman who said what everyone else was thinking, the one who wasn't afraid to stand alone, the one who made strength look effortless. But now, she's showing a different kind of strength, the kind that comes from being honest, the kind from saying, "I'm not okay." And that's not weakness. That's courage, because it's easy to hide behind a smile. It's easy to play the role people expect from you, but it takes real strength to drop the mask and let people see the truth. This moment is bigger than just a breakdown. It's a turning point. It's a reminder that no matter how powerful someone seems, they still feel pain, they still struggle, they still need space to heal. And maybe that's what makes this so powerful. For years, NeNe gave people entertainment. She gave them laughter. She gave them moments they'll never forget. Now she's giving them something even more important: honesty.
And as emotional as this moment is, it's also a chance for something new, a chance for healing, a chance for her to step back and focus on herself, not as a celebrity, not as a brand, but as a person. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Not the fame, not the spotlight, not the expectations, just peace. And maybe, just maybe, this moment is the beginning of her finding it. Because sometimes breaking down isn't the end of the story. Sometimes it's the moment where everything starts to change. And if there's one thing we know about NeNe Leakes, it's this: she's faced challenges before, and she's always found a way to rise again. But this time, it won't be about proving anything to the world. It will be about healing for herself. And that kind of journey is the most powerful one of all.